Well, it has been too long since I have been out to fish. I'm out this morning on Lake Lanier. Finally got my GoPro back, and I am going for crappie or perch. Whatever I can get. I've got some live bait. I'm trolling crankbaits right now. Working my way to an area of this part of the lake that I have not fished. Yeah, thinking back, if I have, it was for bass, and it was probably a few years ago. So I haven't fished this area for crappie or perch, but I know a lot of people do, and so I'm going to give a go at it and see what we can do. It is September, early September, so thinking the fish, you know, we've had some fronts come through and cool things off, but then the days get back up to into the 90s. It's hot, but water temps are probably going to be in the 83, 84. So that's down from 88, 89 where it's been. So we'll see how things go. So the area where I'm heading right now is a spot where it's still back in this creek arm, but it opens up a good bit because there's the convergence of at least 3 different smaller creeks in this general area. And I've already been marking lots of brush piles. It's a pretty heavily fished area, and I can see why. It's just people have been doing a good job of loading this thing with brush piles all over it, lots of different depths. I'm seeing some activity at the surface. Looks like there's some fish chasing bait. So we got bait back here. I've seen a couple of bait balls already. But just those convergence of the different creek channels, it's still pretty warm, so I suspect we're still going to see fish hanging in and around creek channel areas. So that having the presence of those channels underwater is going to be helpful. But the overnight lows are starting to dip into the 60s a good bit more, as opposed to being in the mid 70s or so. So it's starting to happen anyway in terms of a temperature transition. Just got hit here. I'll mark that spot. Got a little drop off here with fish hanging out on it. Great. So as I was saying, the temperature transitions are starting to occur slowly right now, but then a few more fronts that come through that push the water temps down. Probably going to get these fish on the move. Nice. Good group of fish hanging out here. Oh. It's 2 hits. Maybe they want some moving stuff this morning. I got a bucket of minnows, and I'm going to use it. I've no doubt with all these brush piles. Oh man, juicy one right here. Oh no, are these gar? Dang it. The drag set way too loose on this thing. Oh, he let go. I have been losing fish on these. Unbelievable. I'm trolling these flicker shads, and I have been missing fish on them. We'll do another pass here. Yeah. I think if I have my drag set correctly, that one stays pinned. Still surprised on the misses though. The missing fish, not the misses as in the wife. Bummer. I was just taking a picture of my fish finder. There are tons of fish stacked up right over here, so on my next loop. I'm actually gonna come in and do a little bit deeper. Yeah, I'm seeing more and more brush piles stacked going towards the creek channel. This is kind of a big flat, but in between the flats, 3 channels converge, as I mentioned before. And it looks like the folks who live around here or people fish here have been stacking brush in here, which I'm good with, because there's fish all over. Here we go. I've been seeing a ton of long-nosed gar back here. This does not feel like a crappie. Whoa! That broke me off. Holy moly. Alright, set the drag a little too tight on that one. Dang it. That thing wasn't pulling hard until it was. Wow, hook's up big. Well, bigger than a crappie probably. Fighting like a catfish. Sure is. That little cat. Bite's been so slow, I'll take it. Oh, where are my grippers? Darn it. Another one on. Oh, I had another one on. Got off. There's the cat. Little guy, little skinny guy. We'll let him go. Had another one on here. Alright, they're in the middle of this channel, apparently. Yep. I got robbed. Stole my minnows off that one. Had to keep moving until I found some bites here. And I found some bites. Both sides, both rods, both on dropper rigs. What I mean when I say that is, this is it right here. So I've got, oh, there's half a minnow. So I've got a T swivel set up here and here, both with leaders that go to drop shot hooks. And then off of this bottom one, I've got a dropper weight. I think this is 1 ounce weight. And so I can move going slowly. This one will just tick bottom. And we've got two minnows here that can go 360 degrees around the line because of this particular type of 3-way swivel. I like these a lot. So that just gives the minnow, if it's alive, kind of a little bit more freedom to move around. On the other one I've got something similar, but it's tied differently. It's not on these 3-way swivels, but it's tied directly into the line using a T-knot. I'll show that one in just a minute. Same idea though, the line sticks perpendicular off of your main line, your leader line does, with a hook. And I usually run something a little bit thicker in weight, that way I can kind of maintain that perpendicular line orientation as opposed to having this just drop in line with the main line and getting wrapped up, which happens a lot. So I've had some pretty good success with that, and I'll show you what the other one looks like, but this is it's basically the same setup. All right, let's get back to fishing. So here's the other setup. They've got a T-line, a T-knot tied in line here, with thicker pound test on this particular leader line to the hook. And no, I don't think that this fluorescent color affects the bite. I get them just fine on it. It's just what I had when I was tying out. There's no special reason for using it. Tangled into my own line. Pretty good spot. Another run in him. Very good spot. Nice. Nope, 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 nope. Hooked myself in the process. Oh, he's very heavy. Wow, that's a chunk. That's a heavy fish. Good one. Okay, got that one. Slow trolling the triple jig rig. Have to untangle that and reload it. Oh, that's a good fish. Middle of the channel. That's where they're hanging out. This is an absolute tank. The size of that fish. This was on the same one that just got that spotted bass. Look at the size of that guy. Nice fish. Alright, so I made it to the back of this cove. I'm working my way back to the boat ramp now. Seeing fish all over the graph once again. I'm gonna probably aim more towards the middle of this channel. Might do 1 or 2 passes and then back to the boat ramp, and we're all done for the day. This has been awesome. Thanks a lot for coming out. Really appreciate you guys watching. Really appreciate those who have liked and subscribed. If you haven't, please consider doing so. And can't wait to bring you guys more fishing content now that the camera is back and running. So hopefully this gets out to you soon, and let's see if we can get one before we go.